And we're live, guys. We're ready to go. We're back. Rogue Actions Part 2, ready to go again this week. And we, of course, have an absolute superstar. Our boy, Cubs fan Han, is here to join us again on a Monday morning. He's buff, guys. He's swole. He's been down the gym. He's been pumping. It's been leg day, hasn't it? Cubs, is that right? It's been leg day today.
I'm flexing the wrong muscle group here. Really, what I need to do is try to stand up and show you guys how I'm like.
Oh,
okay.
Just another day at the office and recording these guys. That's how we roll. You never know what you're going to get. But if you're brand new to this channel, smash that red button. Super, super important to help us grow
You
this
always
awesome
say
channel.
Smash. I wonder how like everyone's phones are doing in your audience. You know what I mean? Because like, at the end of this, they've all smashed their phones so many times. They've probably got like an indent where that like button is.
Let's be honest. If the screen's cracked, I probably look better anyway. I'm doing them a favor. Let's be clear. So anyway, moving right along. But we got a big week, Cubs, this week.
Yeah.
Again, 1 year on Twitch this week. Big celebration Friday. It's going to be massive. We're going to have a ball.
Man.
And one of the things that we're going to do is the Wheel of and we'll come back to that in a topic in a few minutes. But it's going to be a lot of fun to go through this week. But look, let's get down to our first topic this week, of course, and it is, of course, around the GAC brackets.
Yes.
And why I think that this is going to be a good thing overall for the game. Now, we've talked, of course, about a few things that need to be tweaked and addressed in the mid-tier divisions because you're setting less teams. We've had a good discussion about that already. But my question to you, I think that overall, I think that the changes are great. They fixed the rewards, the stun guns. Everyone's getting the rewards that they had before. That's a great thing. They fixed that. But I think this is going to be great because we're finally going to get a good, serious test of our roster overall. Because I think up until now, we've had, especially at the higher end brackets, we've had teams sitting on the bench that you just don't use. They're just useless. They're just sitting there. You're not placing them. You're not using them in an attack because they don't do anything. You're now going to be forced to use those niche teams, I'm going to call it, that really have been sitting there that, some of us farm. And I think that that's a great thing because GAC should be a test of your skill in the gameplay, but it should also be a test of your overall roster as well. And I see the benefits in that. What do you think about that sort of stuff, Cubs? I think that that's only a good thing, is it not?
Yeah, so I now need to make sure I give the very clear disclaimer that this change, in my opinion, is horrible for the mid-tier game because it's having people place actually not more but less, and removing teams for anyone, I think is, which we discovered this at length or discussed this at length in my video, I think is horrible. And I would be so pissed if I was in that area of the game. So let me just make that disclaimer and make sure that everyone knows that I'm not forgetting that now. But for assuming that they fix that and everyone's going to be seeing the same or more, it's only
and I think we will. I mean, we don't know anything, but I think that they'll make a slight tweak.
They've got to.
I just think they will.
Will be a bit surprised if they don't. And if they don't, then I'm going to be, I don't know. I'll be really.
They're going to know about it.
Yeah, I think the community needs to speak very loudly about that. But anyway, so assuming that changes, and especially for the late game players, it's such a great improvement to Grand Arena. I think something that some people may not be quite anticipating yet is, for those of you who are placing 3 more teams or 2 more teams, that's 4 more teams you need to prepare. Because you need to have the offense ready as well. And so it's going to create a really fun, I think, adjustment to the strategy that comes to Grand Arena. Some teams that haven't had viability will now have viability. It's going to change up the meta. It's going to change up theory crafting potentially because you got to stretch certain characters farther. It's going to put more value probably on solo characters because it frees you up that much more on offense. And also from a streamer's perspective, it's more content. And so I just there's nothing negative about having more teams on GAC. There's nothing negative about it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this is going to do a few things. I think it's going to make full clears really valuable because it's going to be a lot harder to do. I think that you're not going to see as many full clears, especially at the higher tiers going forward. I think that's something that you will notice. I think that, people will just run out of stuff to use. It's just going to happen. And I think that that's really cool. But the thing that I'm really happy about is some of the GP matchups have been horrific. I mean, we've seen them out there over a long time. You've seen, 1 million, 1.5 mil differentials because the top 80 has been tuned to perfection.
Yeah.
And things like that. That's just going to cut that right out. I think you're going to get a better balance of matchups head to head with your GP and rosters. And I think that that is a great thing, because for people like me that started my roster off pretty fat because I was farming stuff for territory battles, right? No,
is that a fat
I was
joke?
farming characters. I was farming characters back then for platoons. I mean, that's what I was doing. I haven't used them since, but that's the kind of thing. All of a sudden, I'm going to use these guys. They're going to be useful because I need to fill teams. I need to do that now. And I think
that made me think
that's a good thing.
Are they, I don't know if they've spoken to this, or maybe I glossed over it and missed it, but have they mentioned if they're going to be adjusting how many characters are used in the matchmaking?
No, I don't believe so. But again, I haven't seen that.
It feels natural that they would, because I
same.
believe the 80 characters that they picked, isn't that the amount of characters you would use?
Correct.
For, placing 7 teams and using 7 teams? Because 7 times 5 is 40.
I haven't seen any changes. There was no mention of that. It was changed in how many teams you set, but they didn't say anything else about the matchmaking.
That's a big question.
I'm sure we might get more information when we get closer too.
That could really dramatically change things. Actually, something I haven't even thought about, because if we're having, that many more characters used in matchmaking, then you're going to be matched up in places you're not used to being matched up.
That's right. Yeah. And you're also, this may actually really stretch those tuned rosters as well. Those teams that, those people that won't have those fat additional teams to set might suffer in these battles now, because they are so finely tuned to the meta that they haven't got those extra things to fill it, which could be easy walkovers in attack. So I think it'll be really fascinating to see how that plays out in time. But I just think that, the full clears, they're going to be very valuable now. And the under wins, that's the trick. Yeah. I think that's something that's going to be enormous. You're gonna want your Malik solos, you're gonna want your Nest solos, you're gonna want things like that get the job done. Without using all your characters, so you've got them to use somewhere else.
Maybe I should relic my Nest.
Maybe you should. You got to do Arc Trooper to Relic 7 first.
Oh gosh, he's Relic 4 now. Okay, just relax.
7 or not at all.
I do kind of want to take him to Relic 7, so
just
I can get his offense up there.
Just do it. It's not going to hurt, man.
It's hurt so nice at Relic 7.
It is. So anyway, guys, let us know in the comments below what you think. Are you happy with those changes? Are you not? Are you going to find it a bigger challenge, worse challenge? Do you think that the matchmaking will be affected in a good way or a negative way? Let us know in the comments below. Pop them in there. Love to hear what you guys think. Now, again, let's get it after it. Now, this is the interesting one, Cubs. We're going to have some fun here. Okay, we're going to have some fun here because, as we said, we're coming up to 1 year on Twitch. And one of the targets during this week's stream on Friday night, US, is that I'm going to get, if we hit a certain target, I basically need to pick a character to take to Gear 13. So what we've done is I put together...
Speaking of matchmaking...
I put together Heinz's wheel of characters, right? That's what I've got. So I want to go through a few of these, and I want you to tell me which ones you think are the worst in these groups. Okay,
so
which one's the worst?
Let me be clear. You're gonna spin this wheel, and whatever it lands on, you're gonna farm that character.
Correct.
Wow.
I can do a test now. We can do a test spin right now while we discuss it. So we can do that now. I'm gonna test spin because I've got the wheel up. I've got the wheel up right now. But there's plenty of good stuff on here. But out of the first few, oh, hang on, we're almost finished. Hang on. Almost done. What's coming up? Gar Saxon wins. There we go. So if we had done it right now, I'd be farming Gar Saxon to Gear 13.
It's probably not as bad as it could get. I've actually seen, now with Grand Arena expanding, I have seen some teams, niche teams, very niche or niche, however you decide to say it. I'll just say it both ways so nobody gets mad at me. A lot of different teams that are some, back wall teams. It could surprise you with Garth Suction and Imperial Super Commandos. So
there we go. All right, well, let's go through some of the ones that are really, really okay. So these are the ones we're talking about. Ugnaught, Mob Enforcer.
I've never seen use for him or Mob Enforcer.
Jedi Knight Guardian.
Yeah, no.
Ewok Scout.
Hard no.
Kit Fisto.
Vomit.
I kind of feel though that the Kit Fisto and stuff might be needed down the track for something. I just feel.
Every time I think they're going to do something with those guys, they don't though.
Correct. Imperial Super Commando.
Yeah, could be worse.
Could be worse? Okay. All right, let me
I'm still going through. Garth Saxon, there's like you know, you can find some use for them. They're not good.
Yeah.
But
they're not great.
Better than having Mob Enforcer and Cup, you know.
True. IG-86.
Yeah, not very good.
He
had his place once upon a day. He actually had his place once upon a time, though.
A long time ago.
Whereas these other characters have had no use, like Mob Enforcer, Ugnaught, never.
This is the one that I'm sort of fearing the most, to be honest. Bodhi Rook.
He's pretty ass. You know, I did a worst characters tournament once upon a time, and the advancing characters out of all of them, including Cup, Ugnaught, and all of those, the advancing characters were the losing characters, and so the person who won the tournament really lost. They're the ultimate loser, right? The way you progressed was by losing, and Bodhi lost every match. Bodhi was the winner
because he is. Absolutely, he is. I've got two more.
All right.
One that I want to be better. Savage Opress. I want to be better. That's on my list of characters at the moment.
He
needs a bit of love.
Out of everyone you've mentioned, I think he's the best.
I think you're right, but still pretty at the moment. Used to be good, but not quite there yet.
If you're doing, especially with the new Grand Arena, you've got a back wall to worry about. Having like a Darth Maul team, a solid Darth Maul team with Savage Opress, it can take out some pretty decent teams on offense.
Yeah.
And it can it could be a surprise defensive team for some people that they tend to underestimate. Only on the back wall though. It would never be a front wall.
No, that's fair. A good many years ago, and we used it early on, but not anymore. Tebow.
Oh yeah. Good old Tebow, man. That basic turn meter strip used to be king. Used to be king in the Rancor raid. Never since, you know.
It was good.
Yeah. He's
and now it's anyway, never mind. So
better
that's
than
the
Ewok
list, guys.
Scout, probably.
That's some of them, guys. That's some of them. We got 29 options. We'll be drawing it on Friday to find out which one of the wheel of I'll be farming. So we'll have to wait and see.
I didn't see Cup on there. Was Cup on there?
Cup is not on there because, unfortunately, I already have him at Gear 13. I have him at Relic 5. So I can't do that one. Unfortunately, I've already lost a bet some time ago on that. And my Cup is Relic already. That's why he's not on the list. But yes, he is, and I don't use him. Actually, you know what? He's taken a few teams out in the past in GAC. It has worked. I have footage of it. He's dealt the killing glance.
Maybe you put him on there, and if it picks him, you have to take him to Relic 8.
Okay, which one's worse still, Cup or Mace at the moment?
Cup.
Yeah, just. Mace is still at the moment. Needs some love.
I took gas out with Mace once, okay?
Yeah, I've done one or two good things with
I literally made Anakin take a seat with Mace. True story. Mace. I took Mace under a Padme team, and Mace got a bunch of courage, and he slapped Anakin really hard because he had a lot of courage, and he made Anakin take a seat. It was glorious.
I love it. It's the best. It's so good. So, guys, let us know which ones you think should be added or are already characters.
I'm arguing that Cup should be on. I'm arguing that Cup should be on the wheel, and if it lands on Cup, you have to take him to Relic 8.
Oh, 7. I'll take it to 7.
No, 8. Because he's already at Relic 5. If you're taking a character from Gear 8 to Gear 13, and then you have to take Cup from Relic 5 to Relic 7, that's nothing.
I'm adding Cup now. I'm adding him right now to the list. Cup is being added right now.
Relic 8.
On the list. There we go. He's in the wheel. He's in the wheel.
Make sure you clarify on the reel. Relic 8 Cup.
Yeah. Oh, R8
R8.
Cup. Oh,
Commit.
God. Okay. All right.
Commit.
Okay. All right. R8 Cup. Done. There we go. Added to the list. It's terrible. Anyway, never mind. All right, so that's that. So we got that up and running. You got me, you mongrel. All right, now let's get down to the viewer's choice question. We do this every week, guys. You know the drill. Put your questions in the comments below, or even better, if you go down the description, there's the Heinzie server there. There's a channel called Rogue Action Topics. Put your questions in there. Pretty simple. If they're good, we ask them, and if they're not, we don't ask them. Pretty simple, straight up. So, question this week is from Resco. Resco is giving us this question this week. Resco's actually in Switzerland. He's a legend, absolute superstar, great guy. Big shout out to Resco out there. And the question is this: will we ever return to solo movie content? More specifically, Tobias Beckett and Dryden Voss coming to the game in future.
I think the only way that happens is if we get a solo sequel.
Really? We need a sequel to get them in, you think?
Yeah, it's disappointing, but I see no reason for them to go to that content just because. Based on the way CG has done things, and with the amount of Star Wars content we have coming up in shows and everything else, I don't see them going to one of the least popular Star Wars films of all time, spending-wise. Like, I mean, it was just box office-wise, it grossed the least amount of money out of any Star Wars film, least amount of hype out of any Star Wars film. I don't see how they could justify that. Financially.
I think it was hard done by, wasn't it? Sandwiched in between the other movies, though. Let's be honest. I mean,
Solo got worked. It was stupid what happened to Solo. It was sandwiched in between Infinity War and Black Panther is what it was, and it came on the heels of The Last Jedi, which was very controversial, and a lot of people wanted to boycott Star Wars at that point. And the movie itself was great, but yeah, it ended up not.
I liked it. Yeah. I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was great.
It got shafted. Solo got shafted. But I don't see them coming back to it. It's disappointing because I would love to have Dryden Voss, and I'd love to have Beckett, and I'd love to have a lot of those other characters, but I don't see it happening.
I think that would be great just to really give a bit of a leg up to our Scoundrel faction. I really think. I mean, they could really bring something there to really buff them up and give them some extra viability. Yeah. I think anyway. But again, again, not at the moment. They're focusing so much on, Kenobi coming up. They're focusing on Ahsoka coming up. They're focusing on Bad Batch at the moment. We're going to get Legends.
Acolyte,
I think there's enough.
There's so much coming.
Yeah, there's so much, I think, already. I just can't see it for some time. I do hope at some point they do release them if there's what I would call a bit of a flat spot. I think that would be pretty cool to have them in. Woody Harrelson's character, Tobias Beckett, that was a really good character.
Beckett was awesome.
I really liked Beckett, and I think that he's deserving of it. I think above a few other characters we have in the game already, I think it was worth it. So we'll have to wait and see.
I feel like it's very likely they planned on bringing Beckett, and very likely that they planned on bringing Dryden Voss, and maybe even a few others. I think that likely the reason they didn't is connected to the success of the film.
Maybe. We'll see in time. Again, anything's possible. It's CG. You know the drill. Straight up, subject to change. So we'll have to wait and see. I couldn't not do it without saying it, man.
It's like that. It's like that myself. Bart meme from The Simpsons. Say it. Say the thing. Subject to change. Yeah.
So, guys, let us know in the comments below what you think. Do you want Dryden in? Do you want Tobias in? Yes, no, maybe. You in a hurry for them? Are they worth it to you? Or do you just not want them in the game at all? Let us know in the comments below. Cubs, thank you again so much for joining us this week, mate. Again, you're streaming all this week now that you're back from your vacay, your holiday time.
Yes, sir. Yeah. The normal Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday grind. Let's go.
Ooh, I like it. Guys, join us, of course, Friday night US. It's happening. 11 p.m. Eastern, 1 year on Twitch. Come and hang out with us. We'll have a ball. Sweet, big celebration. Lots of fun targets, lots of crazy stuff, and the possibility, if we hit a certain target, of Mrs. H joining me here in the studio as well for the very, very first time. So you don't want to miss that, guys. Going to be a heck of a lot of fun. She makes me look good. There again, not very difficult to do. Let's be honest. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you again, Cubs. Always a pleasure, buddy. Have a great week. Good luck with your stream, and we'll see you on the flip side. Smash that red button, and we'll see you again next week.
Broken screens.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.